Hey guys, Jonathan here at Night Knowledge. In my last video about Vegas Movie Studio 15, I talked about how to add projects, how to add elements such as videos and music, how to split and undo. Today we're going to do a few more slightly advanced things that you'll use probably in your everyday video. We're going to talk about how to fade in and fade out, how to time slow and time quicken, how to use transitions, how we're going to turn on the mic and to record so you can do voiceovers, and what to do with crashing. There's two ways that I saw that we can try to fix things, which is through what's called affinity and GPU acceleration. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to do fade-ins and fade-outs. So all you have to do is take a video like I have right here, and you put your cursor to the in between the blue strip here and the actual preview thumbnails at the bottom. And in the corner here, you'll see the icon change from a hand to this symbol here. And all you have to do is click and drag as far right as you like. The farther right you drag it, the longer your fade in will be. So let's just do it for, I don't think that's 15 seconds, but we'll try that. And then we will preview what that looks like. It goes from black and then you'll notice the screen gets brighter into your actual video. If you want to adjust that, all you have to do is go to that spot now and left click and drag to the new spot that you want. And now you can see that it fades in a little faster. A helpful tip is if you know a specific part where you want it to be fully faded in, use the tracker right here and your fade in will snap to it. So just quick preview and it fades in really fast. Okay, so that's fade ins. Fades outs exactly the same way, just on the right hand side. Put your cursor in between the blue and the thumbnails. It turns into fade out, and all you have to do is click there. And now at the end of your video, you're gonna see that it fades out. Just like that. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to do time slow and time quickens. So sometimes you may want to highlight a specific action, and to do that you want to slow down time. So to do that, all you would have to do is put your cursor to the end of the video in the thumbnail area, and you have to press the control button, and you'll notice that the trim event turns into time stretch. And all you do is do left click, and to slow down time, you're going to extend it left. And you'll notice that there's these little squiggly lines, and that's to show you that time has been slowed down. So the video, you can't really tell too much because we're not really doing very much here, but it's a little bit slower. To quicken time, same concept. Left control and put your cursor right here. It turns into this symbol, time stretch. Left click and drag right to quicken. The same symbol will appear, but now it's going to be much faster. So the third thing that we're going to talk about today is transitions. Typically in my videos, I'm lazy and all I do is I do just fade ins and fade outs between my different segments. But transitions, you'll see a lot of people do utilize transitions, and I'm going to show you how. So the first thing is we have our video here, and we're going to take this part here where my character is waiting in the rain. And I don't want to show the part that it transitioned to, how it transitions to the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the part with the tracker that I want to snip it at. Make sure to snip it correctly. I have the correct video row selected on the left hand side. and then I'm going to press S, remember, to split the video. Then I'm going to use my tracker, and I'm going to find the part where I want to go back to the video, and it's here, right? So once again, I'm going to split it, and then maybe I'll delete the part about the map. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Basically what I'm going to do is to create a transition, you click and drag one of your videos on top of another, and you'll notice how you have this kind of thing happening over here. It's just to show that it's I'll show you. When you do a video like that, you'll see it kind of does that transition. It's kind of like a transparent transition. You might like that, and you might not need to do anything. So there's a simple transition for you. But there are more complex transitions, and you can do that by going to the transitions tab right over here on the left hand side. And as you can see, there are a ton of different transitions, and you just select the one you want. So let's try, how about push? All you have to do is click and drag the transition down here, and you'll have to put it in the transition area where the movies overlap. So the symbol becomes this plus button. Just click and drag, and it will put the transition in there. There are some things that you can modify. I usually don't really modify it in that pop-up window. But now with that push transition, there you go. There's your transition. Now if you didn't like that, there should be a way to remove it, but the easiest way is just to undo. And maybe we want a spiral transition instead. Spiral in left clockwise. We'll do that one instead. So there we go. There's spiral. We're going to see what it looks like. Let's try it out. Shoot. And that's how we do a transition. The next thing I want to show you is how to add voiceovers. If you saw one of my earlier videos, I used the Yeti Blue microphone because I want to make sure I have really good audio quality for my videos. So what you need to do is you need to have an additional audio track at the bottom. I already have one in the bottom left, which is music. If you don't have one, you can always right click in this area and select insert audio track, and you'll have one for your voiceover. But I'm going to be using number 5, row 5 for my voiceover. So what I'm going to do is to do a voiceover, you need to select this button here where it says arm for record. You're going to click on it, and sometimes you might not be able to click on it. You have to make sure that your mic is turned on and recognized by the computer. If you turn on your mic and it doesn't work, sometimes what you may need to do is close the program and reopen it. Because if you turn on your mic mid using Vegas, it will not recognize it. So just simple, close it, reopen it. So once again, you click on that symbol, arm for record, and it'll ask you where you want to save this specific file. You can select OK, and you'll see in the bottom left how much of the, basically it's telling you that your mic's on. It can tell that you're saying something. So once that's done, you'll notice that you can press either this button in the bottom left to start recording, or you can press Control R. When you do that, you'll notice that wherever your tracker is where your voiceover is going to start. So it's good like when you're actually doing the voiceover for your video. So you press Control R, and then you can start saying, you can start talking about your video. So like, oh, here we are in the rain, and we've done our transition, and now we're back into the gameplay. Once we're done recording, you can once again press that button in the bottom right, bottom left, or just once again press Control R. When we do that, it will ask you, are you fine with it by clicking done, or you can delete it. Say if you didn't like what you were saying there, you can just delete it. If you're happy with it, click done, and it'll be here right below saved. Now, once you do that voiceover, if you ever lose track of where it is, you can go to the Project Media tab here on the left, and it'll be here. So we have our 2 videos and another video, I believe this was audio, and here's your actual voiceover, your music-46. It'll be right here for you. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is about crashing. Unfortunately, with Vegas, I like the program because it's relatively user-friendly. It was much more user-friendly than Shotcut. Shotcut was still a really good program for being a cheap or for being a free program, but you can literally tell the difference once you've paid some money, or I guess if you find a different way of getting Vegas. Vegas Movie Studio is a great video editor, but still, my biggest gripe is that it crashes a lot. I find when I add text to videos, for some reason, it causes a lot of crashing. Also, on my old computer, I noticed that when I was trying to replay my videos up here, that it would actually see how is actually showing on my old computer, it would actually flicker. But the reason why it was flickering was because I had an old computer. It, like with my new computer, which is way more advanced, basically it's top of the line right now. Everything is fast and I don't get a flickering. If you find you get a flickering preview button in this top right area, it might be because your computer is maybe not as fast as it needs to be to utilize Vegas to its best capabilities. So, but let's talk about crashing, because crashing happens unfortunately a lot, and that might be something that we can address. Now, the first thing is, hopefully you guys can see it, but with Vegas Movie Studio open, if you press Control-Alt-Delete and you select Task Manager, a Task Manager window will come up, and what you're going to do is you're going to see the Process tab here. You want to go to, let's see, I think it was Details, and you want to find the Vegas Movie Studio symbol, which for me is right here. Let's see, maybe if it stops moving around. So Movie Studio Platinum 150 EXE. So what you want to do is under Details tab, find your Movie Studio symbol. You're going to right click on it and you're going to select Set Affinity. A window will come up here and it'll say Process Affinity, and it'll ask you which processors are allowed to run the program. And you might have more, you might have less, but I have apparently 15 different CPUs that I can use. Now, if you're encountering the crashing, what you can do is you can uncheck one of the processors and select OK. And then if we close that, and if we redo Task Manager, it should have remembered that. So let's go back to Details. We're going to scroll down to Movie Studio Platinum. We're going to right click. We're going to select Set Affinity, and we'll have CPU 15 is freed up. For some reason, from what I've seen from other people, by removing one of the CPUs, it prevents crashing. I've actually noticed that once I did that, my crashing was decreased dramatically. It didn't go away entirely, but it did help it a lot. The second thing you can do if you're encountering crashing, one of the most common things I've seen online, is you go to Options in the top left, you select Preferences, you go to the Video tab, and most of the time, for some reason, it seems to be defaulted to your video card. So if you didn't do anything, you'd be like this right here. GPU acceleration of video processing is set to your video card. What you want to do is select Off and select Apply. I've already done it, so I don't need to apply, but you click on Apply, and then that's supposed to help you with crashing as well. So that's today's video for Vegas Movie Studio 15. A few things that I use every single time I do my videos, except for transitions, but I think now that I've reviewed it again. I'm going to start using it a little bit more, try different types of techniques. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Feel free to check out my blog, nightknowledge.com, for other videos. You can check out my earlier video on the real basics of Vegas Movie Studio. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time.